Welcome back everybody to Will It Survive, and today we're taking a look at 3 more vehicles on the car jump arena, and the first of them is the Ibishu Chisai. I think I'm saying that right. Basically a K car but with way more power and speed and acceleration than would be typical of those kind of cars. But yeah, it's got about 198 horsepower, which is a lot in this kind of sized vehicle because it doesn't weigh all that much. But yeah, whether or not it's going to be tough enough to deal with this kind of scenario, we'll have to see, because obviously it's still only front wheel drive. It's not got very much in the way of weight, so sure the landing might not be all that tough on it, but it's also not going to be exactly the toughest of vehicles when it comes to durability. And we're already flying forwards, so I'm going to come heavy down on the nose. Oh, we've already lost a wheel, that isn't good. And the drive shaft has broken as well. I'm not sure if it is just front wheel drive, but either way, oh there we go, but lost both wheels, so we're going to not be able to steer, so this car is an instant failure. And if the interior itself has survived reasonably well, the rest of it really hasn't, so yeah, definitely going to have to slow down for our second attempt. Yeah, for something so small to be getting up to more than 150 miles an hour is pretty crazy, to be honest. Better landing that is. Sliding. I'd rather hit the rear end of the car than the front. Oh dear. I think we've done it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we have. Whoa. Kind of got a little bit exuberant there with the accelerator. He's done it. We've got some bodywork damage, and obviously the radiator is bust, but it's not going to matter either way. Come on, again. That's the line. Yeah, we go. Yeah, fairly impressed by that, given how small it is, and you know, small cars generally are quite weak on this game. You know, you look at a Corvette or a Pigeon, for instance, and yeah, you're certainly not hitting the most durable kind of cars on this series or on this game. So yeah, there we go. So let's get into our second vehicle. It's going to be a bit of a different vehicle, a bit bigger, I guess you could say, because we're getting in a B series and we're going to get in the B75 mining. So yeah, 6-wheel drive, got huge amount of torque and brake horsepower, but also it's obviously quite heavy, and yeah, it's got a really rather large dump truck rear end on it, which is obviously going to add a fair bit of weight to this truck. So yeah, this should be tough, but it's also going to be a lot of momentum on the go as well. So let me change down, let me change down. This is not going to be able to no. That sucks. Let's try and just keep it in a lower gear so we can change it down quickly. Because yeah, this isn't going to be able to go all that quick. Right, let's the momentum carry it forwards. See, we're already going extremely quick. It's 100 miles an hour, 20, 130, 140 in something that's this big, and 145 as we go off the ramp. Yeah, there's a lot of weight in this, so I'm not too sure it's going to come out completely intact, but it might well survive. Well, it's taking a heavy hit there. The suspension on the front has collapsed a fair old bit. Yeah, it's definitely bowing forwards. And oh dear. Oh! Everything is pretty much broken. Only the rear tyres got away with any damage there. and the rest of it has just been completely mangled. Not the most you know, in-depth mod, obviously, because the engine is, or the tyre I think it is, has spiked a fair old bit, but overall a really solid mod. But yeah, clearly too fast for the vehicle there. So we're definitely gonna have to try and brake. I hope that we can be as successful as the Ibishu was. Going slowly just so I can guarantee that we're going to be able to change down, because it is a little iffy at times to change down on these kind of gearboxes, because they are extremely close together. You can have like 12-13 gears on one of these things, so yeah. Still, we're going to be slowing down as we get towards the end of the ramp, just so we can hopefully guarantee this vehicle's survival. Much better landing there, much softer. The suspension hasn't collapsed, not lost or damaged any bodywork there. We are going a horrifically quick speed. We have so much momentum on the go. We've got to kill the engine, because I fear we're going to drown. If we survive, that is. There goes the front wheel. There goes the fuel tank. Nope, we're not even going to land in the water, we're just going to go right off over the barrier. And there's the engine broken because we hit the pole there. We could well have survived if we hadn't hit that, but that's just the way it is sometimes. We did hit that, so even more damage than last time, I'd say, because lost one of the rear wheels. So what I mean about the gears being so close together, in first we get up to 7 miles an hour, in second we get up to 8 miles an hour, which, you know, either way isn't all that great. I do apologise about my mic, I don't know why it's being a little bit weird there. Either way, let's let it roll. Really is extremely unnerving how quickly a vehicle like this can just go fast like this, just because of sheer momentum, how much it weighs. Oh dear, we've got the double bounce. Not good. Oh, engine's broken. Oh well, this is a failure, unfortunately. Guess it's just too heavy to deal with the forces that are being pushed through the chassis, the bodywork, the engine, drivetrain and all that lot for it to survive, which is a shame, because this is a really nice mod, to be honest. Right, let's go in another opposite direction. Let's go to something, again, completely different to the previous two. Go for an ETK. I don't think we've done many of these before. Let's go for a convertible. Let's go for the... Does it say all-wheel drive? Because we... Yes, it is. Let's go for an all-wheel drive convertible. Classic from the 90s, or thereabouts. So yeah, smaller than the mining truck, but obviously bigger than the Ibishu from the first vehicle. Probably going to be the fastest of the three, I imagine. Oh no, slightly slower than the Ibishu. I guess the lightweightedness of that little K car comes in handy within that regard. And the drive shaft has broken, but only the front one, thankfully, so luckily this is the all-wheel drive version. So we still have the rear-wheel drive going on. Kill the engine because we're heading for the water. Whoa! Well, we were trying to, but that bump has rocketed us up in the air, and we've lost a rear wheel. Doubt this is going to work now. Even more so that we've lost the fuel tank. The diff doesn't work on one wheel, unfortunately. Yeah, that's not spinning at all. Right, let's try and brake this time at the end, before the end of the jump ramp. See if that makes any difference. Nice sounding engine on this though. Keep that front drive shaft intact, then we have more chance of survival when it comes to doing any more crashing. Ooh, that's a heavy hit. There goes a radiator. There goes the front drive shaft. But I think we've survived. Luckily, obviously, it says the rear drive shaft's broken. How the hell did that happen? We were perfectly fine when we entered the water. Obviously, we did lose the front drive shaft, but I presumed that we were still intact in every other regard. Let's just check, because it could be wrong. I'm fearing that it's not gonna be wrong though, sadly. Well, let's pop the tyres, but that's not really relevant if the drive shafts have gone. Yes, you have. Oh. That's a shame. It looked like it had survived most of that. Yeah, it took a big impact on the front, and it did initially just lose the front drive shaft, but for some reason the rear drive shaft went when it was rolling around in the water for some reason, so yeah, that's a great shame. Let's see if it can do any better on this third and final run. Otherwise, we're only going to be having one vehicle survive on this episode, and that's the first vehicle, which, to be honest, out of the three, I will expect that one to be the one to survive, because like I said, it is really small, and small cars can tend to be quite fragile. It's looking like the bigger vehicles are the real problem here, but an extremely smooth landing there. I did accidentally tap the right hand key there, so we have spurred off to the right. Oh, that might well have worked in our favour a little bit. The car's a wreck. Come on, limp. It's moving. I don't really call it a usable car anymore. Definitely got up to speed. I'm not going off the speedometer, but we're definitely doing at least 20 mile an hour. It's clearly able to do that kind of thing. Well, that's a bit of a maybe, I'd say, in terms of whether or not this car actually survived. It's still moving, it's still able to steer to some degree, but yeah, it's nowhere near as usable as it was at the start before we came down the ramp, because yes, losing that rear wheel has put the car all out of balance, meaning that one of the front wheels is usually up in the air, and that's playing havoc with the diff. So yeah, a little bit of a maybe there. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide whether or not this has been considered a pass or not. But the Ibishu Chisai did pass. Sadly the B series didn't, and yeah, like I said, this is a bit of a maybe. So yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide whether or not this is a pass or not, but at least it did make it over here. So yeah, that is some consolation nonetheless. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.